Hello, can you hear me? My bad. Let me put this here. Good morning, guys. Um, Felix says hello. He's been meeting me all day. Still love him. Not that that's ever a question, but okay. That's funny. I had a friend over. They were joking. Like, oh, let me have him. Like that genuinely kind of pissed me off. I was like, now I get the whole baby thing. Like, yeah, like what the like, he's not a baby. He's a kitten, but like that possessiveness. I understand it until she was saying that. Let me see. My white balance is that's kind of close. I have three monitors, so I'm seeing three different things when I. He says hi again. Stab my leg this time. Okay. Today I had a really weird question, and you're gonna go along with me as I discover the answer. Because I just watched a video of a kid saying, Dad, if you and a girl were the only last people on Earth, could you repopulate the world? And the guy is like confident, like, yeah, no, we can't, because then like they're gonna be inbred, and like over a ton of generations, it's gonna go bad, you know? Okay, well, no, first of all, let me show you the video. I think I should be fine. I'm think I'm good. Not bad. Let me make sure the audio is being recorded properly. Y'all should appreciate this. This is difficult as hell. Not difficult, but it's a pain in the butt.
Hey Dad,
What's up?
if you and a girl were the last two people on Earth, could you repopulate?
No.
Yes, you could.
On a scientific and a moral level, those kids could not have kids with each other.
Yes, they could because you and the lady could repopulate, and then those kids could repopulate.
No. No. Those kids can no. Okay, I promise you, the further and further down the line it goes, the weirder and weirder those people are gonna get.
Okay, so my theory is that's not true. I think eventually you get like enough. Okay, so stop. Keep trying to climb my leg, and that's why I made that weird face while the video was playing. He literally will scratch the. See that word like gym shorts a lot. So this allows go right through it. It's like a bitch. Anyways, my theory is given enough time. Yeah, there is inbreeding. That's bad. First generation. Oh my god, that was loud. Firecracker outside. Like literally outside. I don't think today's anything special. Anyways, so I think eventually you're just gonna get two populations. Also, I'm pretty sure I have ADHD. Well, I think it's ADD, but they don't classify that, and now it's ADHD with some other weird title. It's like, which pisses me off. It's like, just call it ADD. Anyways, that's a tangent. I have plenty of those in my videos. You're probably used to it. Okay, so my theory, and we're gonna ask ChatGPT and verify and check on Google, is that yes, the first few generations we kind of fucked up, but keep going and keep going, and I think you get distinct populations. And once those distinct populations interbreed, that'll kind of just normalize at some point. All right, let's go to ChatGPT. Um, given enough time, my bad, I should have enough time would populations that began with two individuals stabilize. Kind of getting tired of it. I don't know why there's a firecracker today. Okay, so I'm gonna ask ChatGPT and then I'm gonna ask Google, see what this says. Yeah, I'm not sure why not. Two founders will be limited. Those were to carry. That means high inbreeding. Yes. Chances of harmful recessive traits showing up. In real biology, this often leads to reduced fertility, higher disease risk, and vulnerability to environmental changes. Because there are species that literally just the female reproduces without a male. Um, like lizards of some type. So I know this is possible, um, but we're talking about humans. Okay, so it is more likely. Okay, sorry, I was reading and the freaking firecracker pissing me off. Time scale. If somehow the first generation survived and expanded, and that's what we're assuming, the population could grow numerically, but stability, as in long-term persistence, requires enough genetic variation to adapt. With only two founders, natural selection has very little to work with. Yeah, you reduce it to just two individuals. Some island species, like certain lizard birds, have emerged from very small founding groups, sometimes even a single pregnant female. However, those cases often succeeded only if the species can tolerate inbreeding. For example, they self-fertilize, reproduce clonally, or have genetic systems that minimize inbreeding depression. So it comes down to the species. Basically, you as a species, how resistant, how bad does it have to get, but you can still rebound, or do you just clone? Like I said, some lizard females just clone themselves. Essentially, it's wild. That's not what this video is about. Let's see what what Google said. Highly unlikely to stabilize and are far more prone to extinction. Yeah, okay, alright. So I was wrong. I will say this. This is my final takeaway from this wild ass video. I think if you did it with purpose, okay, let's say this. Let's play out this scenario. Um, two, a man and a woman are on a spaceship out in deep space. They're the last humans that exist, and they have children, and they have children. Those kids have children, and for some reason, they had to have a lot of land and space. Like they land on a planet, they're trying to recreate the world, and they purposefully split their groups to maximize genetic diversity. Then I think you could almost guarantee that the population stabilizes. Yeah. Let's ask ChatGPT if there was purposeful guidance of the population, as in intervention to maximize genetic diversity, is the population more likely to stabilize, and have any experiments like this been conducted? I had a few typos, but I don't have to. I don't have to fix it. It's smart enough to fix it by itself. If there's active intervention, meaning that humans some kind of intelligence carefully control mating, then try to minimize inbreeding. Yes, population more likely to stabilize compared to being left alone. You'd want to maximize heterozygosity, keeping alleles as diverse as possible. Yeah, like once you have enough people to separate into in distinct populations, you let them take their own paths, and then you interbreed those paths, and you can maximize randomness essentially. It's a really weird idea. Anyways, the mutation. Okay, this is stupid. Over many generations, though the problem is that you're still limited to founder effect. Only two individuals' genomes exist at the start. You can shuffle them cleverly, but you can't create new genetic variants without mutation or external input. Mutations happen just because of existence, just because of radiation and how atoms interact. Like, you can't stop that. Why are you pretending like that just stops being a thing? Well, duh. I'm not trying to compete with the fair. It's saying, sorry. So the variation might extend the viability and keep the population functioning longer, but you can't reach the same level of resilience as a population that began with hundreds of founders. Yeah, I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to get the population to survive. Damn it. Have experiments been tried like this? Da, 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 da. So yeah, introducing new. Well, no, that's not. Sorry, I'm reading my head again. So yeah, it's possible, and for humans, definitely, yes, we can do this. We have the technology. CRISPR, we can introduce genetic variation even in just the next. Like, what if? Okay, let's say those two people, once again, Adam and Eve, on this faraway planet, go down to a new planet. They're trying to recreate the world. So instead of just having children the natural way, the normal way, they're gonna get, they're gonna do basically grow them in vitro and introduce genetic diversity through um, through maybe some sort of algorithm that makes sure that those don't introduce like defects. Like say we had a library of a bunch of different genomes in our computers and we're out in the middle of space. We know which ones are still safe, like within. It's not gonna like create a psychopath. It's not gonna create a person with a stump for a hand. So we have that library, and we have my genetic code, her genetic code. I'm just gonna put myself in a situation I think it's easier to conceptualize. So I would take my sperm and then introduce safe genetic variants from that library of human genetic code that we have saved on our computers. Just change out those parts, use that sperm to, and do that the same thing to her egg. So the kids will be kind of just a shuffle. Like it would be our kid, but some things are just going to be shuffled around to introduce genetic variation. And then you just do that with every generation. And you do intentionally start to wean them off the whole CRISPR tech because that is liable to fail. So better to have a natural breeding thing. I think that would, you know what? Let me see if I can just ask ChatGPT real quick. Okay, what if I just decided to use CRISPR? Okay, pretend that me and a woman are trapped in space. We land on a planet. We try to reproduce, try to make a stable population, and we use CRISPR on every generation to introduce safe genetic variants. How long would it take to get to a safe population? Go ahead and theorize. Try to think of the different factors. I added that last part because I'm realizing that might not work. Like, there's no science to this. This is hypothesis. Theories, my bad. Not hypothesis. I used the wrong word. Oh shit, this video is getting long. So after this, we're gonna wrap it up. I do not know why that's taking forever. It's like pretty straightforward. Oh, it says building theoretical model. Fuck, my bad. Love this experiment. Let's treat it like Python. Blah blah blah. Genetically, you'd want to reach a state where inbreeding coefficient. So there's science to this. Like, what's a safe population diversity and what's not. Oh, okay, so that's interesting. Mitochondria DNA. You can't really edit that. Sorry. Okay. Mitochondria. No, I'm just gonna have him read it. I'm not gonna read all that. Write a summary of what you just wrote me. Keep it very simple. Just tell it like a story, but make it much shorter. I was like, I'll read it. I'm like, I don't want to read it, so I don't have to. Read aloud.
Imagine you and one woman crash on a new planet. Just the two of you. Normally your kids and grandkids would be inbred and the population would collapse. But you have CRISPR. Each time a baby is conceived, you fix harmful genes and add safe, diverse variants taken from a library of human DNA. Over the first few generations, the population is still fragile, but with careful planning, keeping track of family lines, picking the healthiest embryos, and editing in new diversity, you slowly build a stronger gene pool. By the third or fourth generation, about 60 to 90 years, the children could already have genetic diversity close to normal human populations. By 5 to 6 generations, 80 to 120 years, the population would feel genetically safe and stable. Truly long-term stability, with thousands of people and deep diversity, would take closer to 200 years. But with CRISPR guiding every step, survival becomes possible.
You know what I just realized? This is probably the best idea for sending people out into space. Why would we create a spaceship that has to hold 500 people for a population when this is an option? Not only that, but pretty soon we could get the technology where embryos, like people will give birth to kids that are not genetically theirs at all. So it wouldn't be incest. It would be weird. You still have those familial ties, but genetically it'd be different. And there's no getting around the weirdness of the first generations. That's not changing. But I'm saying, like, if we had a project to seed multiple worlds with life, human life, to ensure our survival across the time continuum, we would have to do something like this. This would be the optimal solution. Ideally with embryos, but this as a fallback or as one of the tools. Then that raises the question, what the fuck is a human? I don't know. It's not like most of us planned to be here, dude. Half of us were accidents. No, I'm sorry, this is jokes from being a child. Hearing them over and over. Anyways, thank you for your time. My face is also over there. My camera also displays over there, so that's why I jump back and forth. Anyways, thank you for your time.